The 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, sports fans. This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith. Tonight's broadcast will feature
Welcome to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and two Hall of Famers. Doris Burke here at the table, and on the sideline, David Aldridge. Now the starting group for Baltimore. They've got Mason. He's out there with Ulis. Isaiah Thomas out there with J.J. Barea, and it's Van Vliet in at the 4. Beverly deciding where to go with it. Passes it to Howard. Aldridge against Barea. Clock at 6. Aldridge finds Batum. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist. Batum's got the first points up on the board for Pittsburgh. In the early going here, Doris, we're already seeing a continued trend, putting 5 guys on the floor who can hit the face-up jumper.
Well, this is the new age in the NBA. The floor spacing is incredible because when you've got 5 face-up guys, all of whom can put the ball on the deck, all of whom can shoot, it creates so many driving lanes. And the origin of this, to me, goes back to the last Spurs NBA championship. It was such pretty basketball, the movement, the flow. That, to me, was the starting point for all this.
Team's kind of playing outside in, and it's fun to watch the change. Aldridge makes it off the glass.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
And that's not the type of defense you want to play, right? You've got to make it more difficult than that. Layups are too easy.
Here's Van Vliet. Ulis passes to Van Vliet. Again, the miss by Baltimore.
Oh, he'd like to have that one back. He almost never get that wide open a look.
And Batum kicks to Beal. Barea against Aldridge. Howard in the post. Really had an off game against the Pacers. Never really gotten to his rhythm.
Gotta feed Howard the rock when he's in the paint. He commands the ball whenever he has that kind of position.
Beverly against Mason, and Barea has it in the corner. Now the pass to Mason. Over Beverly. Shots good from Mason. 1:36 left to play in the first. Mason against Beal. Here's Aldridge. Batum wide open. He fires. And it's off from three-point range. Baltimore trails by 4. Thomas gets a wide open look. Buries the long-range jumper. Thomas got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. For Pittsburgh, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game.
And it's been a tough past season and a half for Isaiah Thomas. Traded from Boston to Cleveland and then once again traded to the Lakers. Rare to see a guy get traded twice in a season following an MVP caliber performance like he had back in 2017.
A nice shot by Barea.
He's brutal off the pick and roll. J.J. varies his speeds as well as anyone in the NBA.
Batum finds Aldridge. Pittsburgh working the ball around. Ulis with a steal. Pass to Barea. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. And here's Beverly. He brings it up for Pittsburgh. Defeated by the Pacers in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
And really, I just felt like they didn't compete, particularly on the backboard. Probably their weakest area in that game.
Got absolutely trounced on the glass. A lack of passion for an important aspect of the game.
Thomas, no good. Beverly against Mason. Pass to Aldridge. Over in the corner, Batum. There's Beal with the 3. That one misses. And we reach the end of the first quarter. It's Pittsburgh. They lead by 4. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. being a smaller player is a challenge, but Isaiah Thomas...
I just go in there. I've been doing it since I was...
Thomas brings that fearlessness, Greg. He's always played with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and he's got a deep bag of tricks for finishing around bigger players. It's really something to watch.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And guys, when you consider how Pittsburgh is doing, your thoughts?
Well, already in the first period, they found ways to get this offense ramped up.
Well, I think one key is they've controlled the tempo so far. And I know it's early, but it helps to have this kind of lead.
On the floor for Baltimore, Ulis is out there with Mason. Then there's J.J. Barea. Then it's Thomas. And it's Van Vliet in at the 4 spot. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Bradley Beal became a first-time All-Star in 2018, but he knows the next step is becoming a better leader. He said, sometimes I can be nonchalant, locked into myself and not saying anything. It's just my personality, and as a leader, you can't be that way. You have to encourage your teammates and don't be afraid to say things. Don't be afraid to be a leader. Kevin?
Good story, D.A. Thank you.
Well, because of his size, Tyler Ulis has had to become a very shifty player. Give him some room, and he's going to run with it.
Beal can't get it to go. For Baltimore, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. Here's Van Vliet. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's on Nicholas Batum. A lot of guys can take over a game, Doris, at a moment's notice. A snap of your finger. In your mind, who goes that quickly into that zone and takes over like that?
I'll tell you this. The guy who comes first to my mind is Klay Thompson. I mean, what we've seen this guy achieve in a 12-minute quarter and the speed with which the ball from the touch of his fingertips to the release is incredible. Damian Lillard, another guy, doesn't get it off quite as fast as Klay, but can put 20-30 in a quarter in a heartbeat. Guys like Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook, when they start cooking, boy, you better step out that kitchen because you're going to be in trouble, Kevin.
You are. Well said. Here's Ulis following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. Mason kicks to Barea. There's the dish to Ulis. Van Vliet passes to Thomas. That one wide left.
They're not going to get away with many mistakes like that on the defensive end. You got to get out on him right there.
Outside, Beal passes it to Batum. Here's Beverly. The pass to Aldridge. 5 on the clock. With a step back. The shot, no good. And Baltimore going the other way now. Pass to Mason. Launches a 3. Again, the miss by Baltimore. For Pittsburgh, they've gone 1 of 6 from the field in the second quarter. It's been a rough period so far. Batum, good.
Listen, Beal could have taken that shot, but the court vision's so good that he sees a chance to get his guy a better look.
Van Vliet kicks to Barea. Back to Van Vliet. Outside Thomas. There's 47 seconds left now here in the second.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Beverly finds Howard. Beal with it. And here's Batum. Another shot. Aldridge's shot is good. Aldridge has got 6 points.
And without looking at the scoreboard, you think they were the team trailing and trying to fight their way back.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Thomas against Batum. And Thomas, here we go. And he recovers it. And now here's Batum, the fast break opportunity. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings for Pittsburgh. Kenny, what's your take?
Well, they're putting bodies on people. If you just look at the rebounding numbers, you can tell that they've been putting their body on and being more physical than the other team. Now, that fact looms large on both sides, and that's going to...
That about right.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Nice game, great performance by LaMarcus Aldridge.
Well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
I think, Greg, we're seeing a couple things. Terrific play calling, unselfish nature, and quality shooting. That makes for good offense.
Aldridge out there with Howard. Then there's Batum. Then there's Bradley Beal. And it's Beverly in at the 1. That's the group starting the second half for Lloyd Pierce. Now here's Beverly. No points in the game yet for him. Pass to Howard. Kicks it to Beal. Aldridge down low. Guarded by Mason. And that one's good by Aldridge.
And that's how you want to come out of the locker room. He is fired up.
Absolutely perfect start to the half, setting the tempo right away with an easy opportunity at the cup.
Here is Barea. Outside Thomas. Van Vliet looking around. And he's good on the 3-ball. He's got 5.
And a good judge of spacing. Sees he can get it off over the taller man.
He did a nice job feeling the defense out, rising up with ease from the perimeter.
Now here's Beal. Passes it to Howard. Pittsburgh working the ball around. Outside Batum. And that one good. And Pittsburgh leads by 5.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key. Nick Batum, a versatile swingman out of France, a solid shooter and able to create for himself and his teammates.
Timeout is called, first of the game for Baltimore. And for Batum, a steady vet, but a huge contract.
Yeah, and that infamous summer of 2016 with the cap spike. I mean, he's a capable starter, but 5 years, $120 million, boy. That's a pretty penny.
Here is Mason, outside Thomas, from deep. Pittsburgh pulls it in. Howard's got rebound number 8 now on the night. Batum passes to Beverly. And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. The shot's good. And it's a 7-point Pittsburgh lead.
And defensively, just giving up the high percentage look down low.
Not a lot of aggressiveness from the defense right there. You didn't put up enough fight early to keep him from scoring in the post.
Now here's Barea. Van Vliet kicks to Ulis. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Watching Tyler Ulis, it's amazing some of the things that he can do at his size.
Yes, Kevin, he stands a mere 5'9", about $150 weight. And here's a guy who's always had to prove himself, right? That's why he drops to the second round of the draft. But this guy is a true floor general in every sense of the word. Heart, will, determination, and leadership that coaches dream of.
Now here's Beverly. Right side Beal, and Howard with the stuff.
Terrific handle right there by Beal. Comes off the pick with his head up, looking for his teammates.
Mason against Beverly. Barea dishes to Mason. Outside for Thomas. Shoots over Batum, and the shot is good. The Pittsburgh League has been cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Thomas.
Boy, this is why Isaiah Thomas has got to be considered one of the game's great scorers. His ability to maintain focus in the face of excellent defense.
Now here's Beverly. The pass to Beal. Over in the corner, Batum. His three-pointers off the mark. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Batum against Thomas. Pass to Van Vliet. Pass to Barea. And that one off the back of the rim and in. And now just a 3-point Pittsburgh lead. Outside, Beal. Over Ulis. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in.
Well, this is a work in progress on the defensive end. His size can compromise him, and Tyler Ulis knows he's got to step up this aspect.
We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. It's Pittsburgh leading by 3. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. On the floor for Baltimore, they've got Thomas. Ulis is out there with Mason. And there's J.J. Barea, and it's Van Vliet in at the 4-man position.
And Howard has great timing on these alley-oops. As long as the pass is spot on, he's clear for takeoff.
Van Vliet kicks to Barea. Misses the 3. Pittsburgh leading by 5. To the paint. Here's Howard, and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And there's the call. Baltimore, the foul.
And Howard living at the line, all about knocking him down.
And guys, Dwight Howard, a top 20 all-timer in rebounding, an 8-time All-Star center. Greg, will he be a Hall of Famer someday, you think?
Oh, he's a lock to be a Hall of Famer when you look at those numbers. Not to mention a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, and at his peak, one of the most impactful big men we've seen in the game.
Now here's Beverly. Isaiah Thomas unable to get his last shot to go. And Beverly kicks to Howard. Aldridge against Barea. Fades back. Second shot opportunity, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's on Isaiah Thomas.
And throughout his career, Beverly has remained a pest, an aggressive defender that no one likes having him guard.
Baltimore trails by 7. And there's the foul. It's on Nicholas Batum. That'll be his second foul of the game. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. Thomas inside, defended by Batum, and the officials calling for a 3-second violation. Pittsburgh leading by 7. Now Beverly. Outside, Batum. He kicks it to Howard. Pittsburgh working the ball around. Batum finds Howard. 6 on the shot clock. Right side, Aldridge. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Well, what a terrific option he is for them. Really puts a ton of stress on an opponent.
Thomas with the ball. And here is Mason. Over Aldridge. Again, the miss by Baltimore. There's 1:40 left in the fourth quarter. Batum attacking. Here's Howard, and he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And there's the call. Baltimore, the foul.
And just an amazing shot fake there from Howard, effectively bringing the defender off the ground and just going right into the contact.
And straight isolation basketball, Doris, something we used to see a lot more of. But for a guy like James Harden or Steph Curry, that's still a very viable option.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, if you've got the likes of LeBron James or Kevin Durant or Chris Paul, guys who are able to create their own offense, to me, you want to take advantage of that skill set. It's about what your personnel strengths are. So can you surround a great creator with the shooters necessary? Because if you do, all of a sudden as a defense, there's a price to pay if you're going to help off, right? Because somewhere, some way, the best offensive talent is going to showcase its skill.
Now here's Barea. Count it from 12.
And he should thank the team for those 2 points. Nobody paid much attention to him on that play.
Guys, a good chance for them to slow it down.
Yeah, they definitely should use some clock here.
Howard kicks to Beal from downtown. It's hauled in by Thomas.
Boy, he has been cold for a while now.
Yeah, starting to look like it's taking its toll mentally. He doesn't look like himself.
Now here's Beal following the miss by Tyler Ulis. 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one, and out of bounds as Baltimore gains possession. There's 48 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Thomas deciding where to go with it. Beverly against Mason. Back to Thomas. Shot clock at 5. Fires at the elbow. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
Crafty move. He recognizes the size disadvantage, and the mid-range is close enough.
I'll tell you, that's really clever because it's not easy to get that mid-range off over a guy who's got a size advantage. He made it look easy.
Here's Beverly following the bucket by Baltimore. Passes it to Howard. Outside, Beal. Shoots over Ulis. So it's Pittsburgh picking up the win. It was all right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up for